My name is Ania. I am a bartender at Boleo at the Kimpton Gray Hotel in downtown Chicago. Today I'm making a non-alcoholic drink called Horsin Around for this year's Dry January. So in the whiskey world, when you hear bourbon, you think of Kentucky. What else is Kentucky known for? The Derby. So as a fun nod to the state of Kentucky and whiskey culture, we created this drink called Horsin Around using Kentucky 74 spiritless bourbon. It's enhanced by a house-made Serrano Pepper Simple Syrup, touch of citrus from fresh squeezed lemon juice, and topped with ginger ale to add a little spiciness at the finish. And we garnish it with a lime wheel. So this drink will give you that nice desired barrel-aged flavor without any of the alcohol. You also get a little nice citrus to cut through the sweetness of the spicy Serrano Pepper Simple Syrup, and a little bit of that nice spicy herbaceousness from the ginger ale that we top the drink with. So we start with 1.5 ounces of Kentucky 74 spiritless whiskey. This drink is going to be shaken over ice and served in a rocks glass over ice as well. We then have a 1/2 ounce of our house-made Serrano Pepper Simple Syrup. Adds a little sweetness and heat to the drink. Finished off then with a 1/4 ounce of fresh squeezed lemon juice. We shake that in a cocktail shaker. Rocks glass. Fill it with ice. And we strain it. And then we top it with ginger ale to add that nice herbaceous ginger spiciness. And it's finished with a lime wheel. It does have a bit of a mule inspiration. You're going to have that nice ginger. We have the lime and simple syrup, but ours is infused with Serrano pepper, so there's a little extra touch of heat there. The Serrano pepper syrup is quite simple, no pun intended. It is a simple syrup build. So basically that's going to be cane sugar that is steeped and melted in hot water. And then we take fresh Serrano peppers, we dice them and put them into that syrup that's made with water and cane sugar. Let that marinate for a few days. All of the nice spice and heat and flavor of the Serrano syrup then becomes infused into the simple syrup. We strain it, and then we have our nice sweet and spicy Serrano pepper simple syrup. These spiritless whiskeys are made from a combination of herbs and roots, a little bit of sweetness added there as well. It is oak distilled, however, so you're still going to get that nice oaky barrel-aged flavor, but it is best used in a mixed drink format where you can build off of that barrel-aged element and add other elements that will give you that same desired effect that you would get from an alcoholic cocktail. If you're drinking it straight outside of the cocktail or built drink format, it is going to have a little bit of that nice barrel-aged smokiness and richness that you're going to get from whiskey, but it doesn't have that same bite. So built this way with all these other components, it will still be a drink worthy of someone who's used to drinking alcoholic cocktails, of course, minus the alcohol. It's actually a very simple drink to replicate at home. You really only need a few ingredients that are readily available. You can, of course, also swap out the spiritless whiskey once dry January ends for a regular bourbon or really any other spirit of your choice. This is a drink that would go really well with vodka, with gin, with other spiritless botanical liqueurs as well. If you wanted to play around with, a non-alcoholic gin or a non-alcoholic rum, this is a build that will translate really, really nicely to a wide range of both alcoholic and non-alcoholic spirit options. So a drink like this, it's completely irrelevant whether you're using an alcoholic or a non-alcoholic spirit. The build stays pretty much the same. If you are using an alcoholic spirit, let's say alcoholic regular bourbon for this cocktail, you might want to adjust the simple syrup a little bit, either a little more, a little bit less, depending on your tastes. Again, the Kentucky 74 spiritless whiskey will not have that same bite that an alcoholic bourbon or whiskey would have. So you might just adjust some of the elements by a splash or two. But for the most part, the build will be exactly the same. This drink has been really popular so far. I think the biggest appeal factor of this drink is that it looks like any other cocktail. So for those of us who might be a little self-conscious about abstaining from alcohol during the month of dry January or any other time, this is a drink that is visually going to give you the same effect as any other cocktail would. It looks really fancy. It's served in a regular drink glass. It smells like any other cocktail and tastes really close as well. So people have really been enjoying this one. These days, spiritless drinks, non-alcoholic drinks are becoming very, very popular as the world becomes a little bit more health conscious and more aware of what we put into our bodies. I think we come to realize that alcohol is not always the best option for our health. And so the last few years, I've definitely seen a huge uptick in not only spiritless and non-alcoholic offerings, but also people coming to the bar and asking for those options as well, completely outside of dry January. And for that reason, here at Boleo, outside of Horsin Around, we have several different options for non-alcoholic drinks, anywhere from a non-alcoholic IPA to non-alcoholic wines. So here at Boleo, we are a Latin-inspired bar and restaurant. We serve a Latin-inspired full-service dinner menu, as well as a Latin-inspired drink menu with several different cocktail offerings. We do a lot of house-made infusions and really interesting cocktails that are inspired by spirits from all around Latin and South America. We do live music here at Boleo. We're also on the 15th floor of a historic downtown Chicago building and feature a beautiful retractable roof that opens up in warmer months. So it's really, really an awesome vibe in here. It's very fun, very lively, very eclectic. And you'll find a lot of the types of food and drinks that you would expect, but with a really unique twist.